So welcome back, everybody. Can you hear me? Welcome back to Tushita for the 13th day of the Days of Miracle. And we are so honored and delighted to have Geshe Lhakdor back today for the second teaching on meditation and mindfulness. And I will give the microphone straight to Geshe. Thank you so much, Geshe.
Okay.
We're so happy to have you. Thank you.
What's this? I'm playing with it, and all pictures become very small. I don't know. anyway, leave it like that. Okay. So let me read something. Meditation in Sanskrit, it's called bhavana, which means cultivation. The general term used in Buddhism for any type of meditational practice involving continuous attention by the mind to any suitable object, that is called meditation. The two main kinds of meditation practiced in Buddhism are calm abiding, shamat, and insight meditation, vipassana. So basically, there are two types of meditation: one-pointed meditation and analytical meditation. One-pointed meditation is extremely important to help you focus on any activity that you are doing. For example, just like when you take a picture, you need to focus the camera. Otherwise, you will get a blurred picture. So similarly, to achieve anything, the mind has to focus. That's the purpose. Everyone seems want to know how to meditate these days, right? Am I right? Everyone wants to meditate. From baby boomers to Generation Xers, anxious teens to aging retirees, harried housewives to hurried executives. More and more people are seeking solutions for the stressful, time-urgent, overstimulated lives we lead. Because the media and mainstream medicine have failed to provide satisfying answers. People are turning to increasing numbers to time-honored practices like meditation for proven remedies to cure life's ills. This is a very important statement, important point, because yes, we need to depend on medicine, but as we say, prevention is better than cure. The most important thing is that you should make sure that you remain healthy and don't have to go to a doctor, don't have to take medicine. Fortunately, unfortunately, medicine is a commodity to be sold. Doctors have also become professional businessmen or businesswomen. So you're not very sure what kind of doctor you're having, what kind of medicine you are taking. There are a lot to say about the medicines that we take these days, the side effects and so forth. So therefore, the best and most long-lasting ways to ensure not to get sick through meditation, through compassion, whatever, through changing your lifestyle. 2005 Newsweek, this is a little bit late, but 2005 Newsweek survey, according to 2005 Newsweek survey, 1/3 American adults meditate daily. Whether you are seeking greater focus to get your job done more efficiently, less stress, more peace of mind, or a deeper appreciation of the beauty and richness of life, the simple practice of sitting down and turning your attention inward can do wonders for your body and your mind. Because of much of the problems that you encounter are because of your not keeping in touch with yourself, as simple as that. We are very good, or to some extent, we make effort in reaching out to others, contacting others. For that, we have many gadgets like internet, telephone, and so forth, but there is nothing to contact yourself. There's no modern gadget to contact yourself. It's the only way is to turn inwards, to meditate and explore one's own inner qualities. You can learn the basics of meditation in 5 minutes. For example, watch your breath. Very simple. Even this simple thing, when we start doing it, even this simple thing is very elusive, very difficult to do. So that clearly shows how strongly distracted we are. So try to do it, you watch your breath, that the breath is going out and coming in, things like that. Immediately your mind will go wild and have something other to think about than the breath. So this is called monkey mind. Monkey mind. The mind has this very strange habit of going after things, especially things which you are forbidden to do. Like a naughty child, the mind wants to explore and go there. Right? The things which you should be doing, we are reluctant to. It is an uphill task. This is, if you try to meditate even for 4 or 5 minutes, you will see that. If you do it, but if you do it regularly, before long, you will feel more relaxed and enjoying life more. For example, those of us who are stressed, who are busy, look at the pattern of your breathing. It is short. It is short, quick, And in many cases, your process of breathing also produces a certain sound also. And it's not smooth. It's not natural. And breathing is mostly a little bit from the neck and so forth. It's not down from the abdomen and so forth. Right? So you don't get calmness. And if you breathe properly, it will solve many problems. For example, in my case, what I noticed, which you can try also, is sometimes when you quickly eat something, especially Tibetan samba, barley flour, quickly, then you start coughing, right? Or when you hurriedly eat anything, or when you're intense, or then you start coughing when you quickly eat something. So when that happened to me, what I did was I stopped eating or drinking, whatever I am doing. I stopped that and take a long breath. In and out, long breath. And it just that coughing completely vanishes. Right? So like that, you can gain a lot of benefits. Then also the air that you breathe has to go into each and every pores of the lung. It's important. But as I said, if you do it regularly, then before long you will feel more relaxed and enjoying life more. So that means not only breathing, but in life, what I really noticed is, even when you are very urgent, when you have to rush or do something, don't try to rush too much. Calm down, plan and think carefully. What is it that you are going after? Do it slowly. You will achieve much more. Like, for example, sometimes we are, now I have to go and quickly close the door, and you go down like 20 steps. Then you remember you left something. You come back, return back again, just wasting time. That's something we do all the time. So therefore, in every situation, number one, don't try to do too many things. Do things in a planned way, as I have been saying, and do it slowly. You can achieve much better quality. Okay. So if you do it regularly, before long you will feel more relaxed and enjoying life more. Meditation also has tremendous subtlety and depth. Of course, if you want to explore more, then there will be lots of deeper areas that you can explore. So it is really like painting. Some rough sketch or painting you can do easily, but if you really want to go into more subtleties, then it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of skill. Meditation has an illustrious multicultural history, not only in Buddhism, but in all other cultures and spiritual practices. Regular practice offers dozens of scientifically proven benefit. Now, these days, it is scientifically proven that meditation is of great benefit. Benefit means when you meditate, then you have reduced stress, you can lower your blood pressure and cholesterol levels, you can increase your empathy, greater empathy, and enhanced activity. Or that the real cause of suffering and stress is not what happens to you. Okay, this is important point. That the real cause of suffering and stress is not what happens to you, but how your mind responds. In everyday life, your mind is consistently processing a barrage of sensations. How many sensations are there? In succession, so many different types of feelings, sensations. Visual impressions, how many things you see. Then emotions, thoughts. But when you meditate, you narrow your focus, limit the stimuli bombarding your nervous system. As we say, there is issue in the tissue, as we say. Issue in the tissue means when you get stress and all those things, then it will have its effect on the tissue, your nervous system, because you are bombarded by so many of these external stimuli. You are not established, you are not focused. So when you meditate and narrow down your focus and limit the stimuli bombarding your nervous system, that way you will calm your mind in that process. Think of meditation as a climb up a mountain. From the foot of the mountain or from a distance, you have seen snapshots of summit of the mountain, and from the bottom, you can barely glimpse the summit through the clouds. But the only way to get there is up, one step at a time. You go slowly, slowly, it may take some time, but you'll reach there, right? As we say, there is no push button enlightenment. Even in the modern, technological age of automation, there is no push button enlightenment. In recent decades, however, Western researchers and teachers have distilled meditation from its spiritual origins and now offer it as a remedy for a variety of 21st century ills. Many of the sufferings and problems that we face in this 22nd century or 21st century, now 22nd century. Few techniques developed over the centuries with the meditation means you can meditate by repetition of meaningful words or phrases known as mantras. You meditate on the sound of that mantras that you recite. You can also meditate by being mindful, having mindful awareness of the present moment. Or you can meditate by following or counting your breath. Or you can meditate by paying attention to the flow of sensations in your body. Or you can meditate on cultivation of loving kindness, compassion, forgiveness, and other healing emotions. Or you can concentrate on a geometric shape or a simple visual object. In Buddhism, we talk about meditating on a flower and things like that. Or visualization of a peaceful place or a healing energy or entity. Sometimes people just play a music where you can hear the sounds of water, running water, chirping birds, That also temporarily quite soothing. Reading and reflecting upon inspirational or sacred writings. Gazing at a picture of a holy being or saint, like visualizing His Holiness the Dalai Lama or the Buddha and so forth. Contemplation of nature. Chanting praises to the higher beings. The importance of meditation in Buddhism can be appreciated by recalling that it was while meditating that the Buddha gained enlightenment. So most of the pictures you will see the Buddha in its meditation posture. The image of Buddha seated cross-legged in meditation is one of the most popular themes in Buddhist art and a constant reminder of the close association between meditation and enlightenment. The enlightenment is possible by using your mind, transforming your mind. So therefore, reflecting within, purifying the emotions is the only way. So briefly speaking, as we already read, meditation is of two types. One-pointed meditation and analytical meditation. It's in a way quite simple because we are not able to focus on the important things. Our mind gets distracted and we are not able to achieve much in anything that we do, not only spiritual practice. Therefore, we need to learn to focus, concentrate. Concentration is said to be the source of success, both in war and in peace. I mean, look at the, unfortunately, in a way, unfortunate, the missiles that they're using right now. They also need focus, concentration, you know. And as far as the use of machine is concerned, it's very precise. It just hits the target. So our mind should be like that. Our mind should be able to hit the target, be it positive, be it negative. So through the bombardment of one-pointed meditation, we should be able to destroy the enemy of negative emotions. We can personify anger, personify jealousy as the enemy number one, and bombard them with your one-pointed meditation. Right? Then analytical meditation. Analytical meditation, at least according to Tsongkhapa, is even more important than one-pointed meditation. But most of us, when we talk about meditation, we are primarily talking about one-pointed meditation and not so much about analytical meditation. And Tsongkhapa actually scolds us by saying that if you say that meditation is just one-pointed meditation, then it's like picking up one grain and say that this is all the grain available in the world. So this is kind of a little bit scolding to us. So he's saying that it's meditation, there are many types, or at least there is, in addition to one-pointed meditation, there is analytical meditation. So analytical meditation means this smart, sophisticated human mind or human brain has the capacity to analyze, to judge, to discriminate, and to sift the right thing. We must do that. We must do that. We should not follow rumors. Like, for example, when you listen to the news these days, the news that is coming from Russia, or that's coming from Ukraine, or that's coming from NATO, or that's coming from America, and so forth, everybody seems to be right. So some people said that infodemic is more dangerous than pandemic, right? So infodemic, this constant bombardment of wrong information, and our habit of believing everything is quite dangerous. Or at least it is, great distraction. It's really, really important to analyze, find things by oneself, not just listening to people. right? So not all informations are necessary or important, although we proudly call this age of information, but much of the information is junk information, useless information. So you need to, out of all these types of information, you need to get the right information. And based on that right information, to get the right knowledge and right understanding. And based on that, then finally, what is even more important is that you then need to have the wisdom. I think I have elsewhere, maybe, I don't know, maybe you have heard about this or not, but I have explained this by saying that information is like reading many books on how to build a ship. That doesn't mean that you are able to build a ship. You have all the information, right? Knowledge means having the capacity to build a ship based on that information. So make good progress. You're now you're expert in building a ship, right? But then where are you going to use this ship? For helping people cross the ocean, or carrying ballistic missiles to kill the enemy, so-called enemies? So it is the wisdom that ensures that the ship that is built by knowledge is used for constructive, beneficial purposes. So today, what is really missing in our world today is not information. Even knowledge, we have a lot of knowledge, but one thing that's really, really missing is wisdom. So we are using many of the scientific technological inventions for destructive purposes, or for short-term purposes, for division, for disharmony, and so forth. So wisdom is extremely important. So that wisdom comes through systematic process of study, listening, thinking, meditation. Meditation means listening to somebody, read some book, that's good. You get a lot of information. Then thinking is almost like construction, think and you're able to come to the conclusion that this is right. But still, it may not be yours. So you need to internalize it through meditation, right? So therefore meditation, as I explained earlier, meditation means making your mind habituated with virtues or virtuous qualities, positive emotions. It doesn't matter whether you're sitting or walking, whatever. I mean, you can do sitting meditation, you can do walking meditation. All this comes in the practice of mindfulness of the body. Okay. But at the end of that, thing is that you should be able to use all this to reduce the negative emotions. That's the main goal. If you are unable to reduce your negative emotion or lessen your negative emotion, then you may have a double Geshe degree. Or you may have the name of a highly recognized reincarnation. You may be sitting on an extremely high throne, and people may be showering praise after praise to you, right? Still, when your internal negative emotions are intact, untouched, you're not a practitioner, there, right? So therefore, whether you're a good practitioner or not is not judged by the degree or by the name, but what you do, how you really live, how much you're able to lessen your negative emotions. But that's really the focus. To make a long story short, I mean, we can look at what the teaching of the Buddha. Buddha is said to have taught 84,000 classes of teachings. And this 84,000, I have no idea how to count all these 84,000 classes of teaching, but all these 84,000 classes of teaching are taught as a antidote, counterforce against 84,000 of negative emotions. So we may not be able to count all of these 84,000 classes of teachings or 84,000 classes of negative emotions, but it is finally summarized as being contained in the three poisons: ignorance, attachment, and hatred. Attachment really, makes you get obsessed with things, get stuck with things, get stuck with people, get stuck with house, get stuck with name, get stuck with fame. Attachment is basically a huge obsession, which will make you stuck in the samsara. Then hatred, by its very nature, distances yourself from other people, create division, disliking, enmity, hatred. And this too, excessive obsession and attachment and disliking and repelling others, is based on ignorance. The primary negative emotion, ignorance, the fundamental confusion of the way things are. Right? So you need to meditate on all these important points and understand all this through analytical meditation, not one-pointed meditation, analytical meditation, how destructive these negative emotions are there in general. There is no need to just follow Buddhist teaching, but you should just by yourself, through your own personal experience and seeing what is happening around the world, see how good negative emotions are, how good anger is, how good jealousy is, how good hatred is. Are they good for your physical health? Are they good for your mental health? Just like a great scientist or a great researcher, you should analyze it by yourself. Come up with your life's experiences. Recall those occasions when you got wild and angry. Write stories about that. What did you do on those days when you were angry? How did you present yourselves when you were angry? You may be ordinarily a very nice looking, handsome man or nice looking, beautiful women. But when you get angry, you become ugly. You are unable to say things that you want to say. You are unable to think things that you are supposed to think. You see, you become mad. You become crazy. So like that, you should explore and see. And through that, you should be able to develop a conviction. Yes, these negative emotions are really the enemy number one. They are really destructive. I will really be happy without these negative emotions. I can smile more and laugh more without these negative emotions. I can have more friends. I can have more holidays. I can have more picnics where I can really enjoy in the true sense of the term. I mean, if you're angry, even if you're on a beautiful picnic spot, how can you enjoy that place if you're angry? If you have hatred, if you have jealousy, wherever you go, you can change the place. But wherever you go, when you go with all these emotional baggages, you can never be happy. Right? Right? So it's really like, according to Buddhist practice, that the proper pursuit of happiness is not just changing places or changing relationships. It's changing your attitude. It is enlarging your mental perspective. It is by becoming more realistic. It is not by falling into one of the extremes of exaggeration and denigration. Right? So through this kind of analytical meditation, it's not just one-pointed meditation, it's through this kind of analytical meditation with the logic, reasoning, through Buddhist way, through scientific way, whatever, you explore the truth. Through that, then you will be able to clearly see that this countless sufferings and problems that we are experiencing today, right now, is because of ignorance, narrow-mindedness, short-sightedness. So unless we address this fundamental problem, it is impossible to have bigger, larger world peace. Right? We all say that I want peace, I want happiness, I want long-lasting peace, long-lasting happiness. If you truly want that, the only way is to reflect within, understand yourself, understand your emotions, especially the negative emotions, and lessen the negative emotions in general. So when you meditate also, depending upon your predisposition, past life's habit, predominance of particular emotions, you can do different meditations. If you are somebody who has a lot of discursive thoughts, a lot of distractions, then meditate on your breath, watch your breath. This will lessen your wildness of the mind. If you're somebody who has excessive attachment, the obsession with things, then meditate on the ugliness of that object. And this is exactly what is taught in the practice of the mindfulness meditation also. When you do this mindfulness of the body meditation, then you really see the reality of your body from the head of, top of your head down to the sole of your feet. What great stuff is there. The things coming from your eye, the things coming from your nose, the things coming from your mouth, things coming from your earwax, right? So if you look at the nature of the body itself, there is nothing, completely pure or appreciable in one sense. And then if you go inside the internal, systems, the organs, they're all probably filthy, not so clean, fragile also, right? So with that understanding, you will be able to reduce your attachment to your body and to the body of others. It is because of blind confusion that we develop this obsession to oneself and to others, right? So when you reflect in this way, then you don't see much reason to develop attachment, but you will see reason to develop love or loving kindness. I mean, this is so interesting. When you see the reality, it will, as I mentioned this earlier also, some of you might have attended some of my talks. The good news really is, when you see the reality as it is, this will help you promote and develop and strengthen your positive qualities. And will help you lessen your negative emotions, as I already mentioned. For example, when you see this fragility, the transient, the suffering nature of your life, other people's life, this will help you develop loving kindness, because they are suffering. They are fragile. So that it's reasonable to take care of them, to love them, right? Right. And contrarily, there's no reason to develop obsession and attachment. Why should you develop so much obsession and attachment to such fragile thing, such suffering nature, such ugly stuff, such filthy stuff, or whatever you want to call it, So this is really great. So from such a perspective, it becomes very clear that understanding reality through meditation, through mindfulness, is extremely important. And in meditation, as I already spoke about meditation, one-pointed and also analytical meditation. Analytical meditation also primarily analyzing the ultimate nature of phenomena, which basically means meditating on shunyata or emptiness. With the mindful practice also, there are many ways of doing mindfulness of the body, of the feeling, of the mind, of the phenomena. But at the end of the day, it's basically talking about the ultimate nature of your body, ultimate nature of your feeling, ultimate nature of your mind, ultimate nature of the rest of the phenomena. Because it is this realization of the ultimate nature of all phenomena that you will be able to uproot ignorance, which is misconception of reality, which is seeing things as having inherent independent existence, although there is no such inherent existence, right? So, for example, Nagarjuna in his letter to the friend, there is a beautiful verse where he says, human beings are not at all well. And in other words, human beings are not well in the true sense of the term. Not well in the true sense of the term. Because not well in the true sense of the term, because of, therefore you should see human beings as impermanent, impure, and selfless. But people who don't maintain mindfulness on this reality of impermanence, of selflessness, of impurity, of not being well, those who not maintain mindfulness on those realities, then they lead to all kind of destruction by getting obsessed with the four, opposite qualities of not being well, impermanence, selfless, impure, and so forth. Meaning that you will contrarily see it, meaning that you will see that you are fine. You will say that I'm permanent. You will say that I have I exist independently. And you will say that I'm clean. Okay. So now who is right, who is wrong? Are you really, really clean? If you're really clean, why do you have to take shower so many times? If you're very pure, then why do you have to use all those, fragrances all the time? What are you hiding? Right? And if you exist as having independent, nature, then why do you see that you're aging, that you're changing? Because if you have independent existence, you should not change. If you're in the true sense of the term, if you're happy and well, why do you frequently get sick? Why do you frequently get unwell? So we have this tendency to focus on what is not true. We have a kind of way of pretending what we are not. So what these Buddhist teachings are saying in one sense is don't pretend, accept reality as it is. How far you are going to pretend? How far you are going to say that you are perfectly okay? How far you are going to say that you are permanent? Because very soon, the truth will reveal its true nature. You will age, you will get sick, right? So therefore accept it. Now this is accepting the reality is not to discourage you. Yes, you don't have independent existence, impure, impermanent, but this doesn't mean to say that your mind cannot change and cannot achieve enlightenment and nirvana. The mind has that great capacity. But if you focus just on the body itself, there is not much there to get obsessed with. Not only that, if you get obsessed with anything, whether it's your physical body or your mind or anything that belongs to you, your relatives, when you get obsessed with something, that means you are going to get stuck there. If you get stuck somewhere, then how are you going to get free? Get freedom in the name of liberation. How are you going to get liberated? Right? So you need to free yourself. You need to liberate yourself. To give you a small point, ordinarily, we dance at the tune of others. If I do this, what other people will say? If I do this, what other people will think? I should not do this. This is because people might say something. We are so scared of the society. I should not walk like this because other people may not like it. So whatever you do, you are very careful about, In a way, this is good, as a societal norm, it may be good, but, from a larger, more realistic point of view, you should be true to yourself. You should make your right choices. As I said yesterday, that when it comes to what is right and what is wrong, it is not the question of majority. So honestly speaking, from a deeper perspective, majority of people are, unfortunately, I should not use this word, but of course this is a different level. Majority of people are a little bit insane. Like look at the killings, the wars that is being fought. This is out of insanity. That you are right now in a mental hospital doesn't mean that you are sane. Many things that you are doing are really kind of insanity. Now again, this is not saying that you are, as a person, you are a bad person. It's not saying that. So therefore, Buddhism makes a distinction between the wrongdoer and the wrongdoing. The wrongdoing must be opposed. The wrongdoer must be supported. The wrongdoer must be supported means that the wrongdoer should always be given the opportunity to become better. Show compassion to the wrongdoer. Highlight the wrongdoing. Make a distinction and say that you are basically a good person, but you slipped, you made this mistake, so please correct it. What a great teaching. So that nobody is ignored, nobody is ostracized, nobody is neglected. Everybody gets the opportunity to improve, to become better. All of us have negative emotions, therefore we all make mistakes, but mistakes can be corrected. And mistakes can be corrected provided if you are able to see the mistakes as mistakes, if you're able to see the reality as it is, right? So therefore, for personal transformation, it is really important to, to have the capacity to choose the right path. Even if not many people are following it, you should choose the right path and walk on it. How many Buddhas are there? Not many, although we talk about many Buddhas, but very difficult. So only few brave people who choose that right path, they got enlightened. Not only that, they got enlightened, that the teaching that they gave, they left behind, has the capacity to transform millions of people. So that is their greatness. So similarly, in our case also, the more we refine ourselves, the more we reduce our negative emotions, the more we will be happier, the more we will also be able to help others. Because majority of people, whether they are grown up, educated, not educated, even professors, scientists, whoever, I met many of them. They're like you and me. They may have some better, modern qualifications and some great certificates. They all need guidance. They all need support. Right? So at the end of the day, unless you have the true knowledge, unless you have the true education. So true education means education of morality, education of concentration, education of the analytical meditation that we are talking about, not the formal education that we get in schools. The real education should be something that produces happiness, that helps people to flourish and prosper. The ordinary education that we get in the schools and universities give you a certificate which will help you get a job and earn some livelihood, but that does not necessarily make that person a happier person. I'm not just saying it. Now it is scientifically tested, between those people who only, made an attempt to climb the ladder of success and aspire to get more money, more post, more, recognition, and then completely neglected their family, personal happiness and so forth. Then on the other hand, there are people who, while they, got the job, but they also maintain their good relationship with their families and friends, took care of their health. Then at the end of the day, like 15, 20 years later, it is found that people who really maintain good relationship not only ran after money, they did much, much, much better than those people who focus just on money and power and title and things like that. Right? So happiness is a choice. Happiness is not pleasure. Today, people all over the world are running for pleasure, not for happiness, not for peace. Even if they are talking about happiness, they are talking about ephemeral happiness, short-term happiness, right? So therefore, it is extremely, extremely important to cultivate that happiness from within oneself, so that whatever the situation is, whatever ups and downs that you are experiencing in your life, you will be able to maintain that happiness to a large, yes. Like it's like, Dharma practice is like taking medicine. You need medicine when you get sick, not when you're healthy. I mean, generally speaking, right? So similarly, your Dharma knowledge practice should be present when you are having problems. Your Dharma practice should be able to help you when you feel loneliness, when you develop fear, when you develop anxiety, when you develop worry, right? In other words, the Dharma must be there when you develop negative emotions. Negative emotions are those emotions which, when arises in your mind, leaves you completely disturbed, destroys your stability. Like, for example, when you develop attachment to certain people or to certain object, unlike hatred and anger, it will not be so aggressive, but still it destroys your stability. Because of your attachment to particular object, you will feel you're almost pulled towards that object. You lose your stability. You lose your freedom. Then, of course, if you develop anger, hatred, then you can immediately feel that your mind is completely agitated now. So these negative emotions, they are very elusive. They are very opportunistic. They will come to you as if they are your great friends and great helpers. So that's why it is reasonable that somebody asked the question yesterday, don't we need all the negative emotions also? Yes, ordinarily we think that these negative emotions are necessary. When we develop these negative emotions, then life looks colorful. This is what we see in all the movies, whether it's American movie or Indian movie, whatever movie. The main theme is sex and killing, violence and sex. Ignorance is not displayed in a very strong way, but at the end of the movie, normally they'll find that this is out of ignorance. The four Buddhist, the three Buddhist poisons that is you can see in all the movies. So attachment and hatred, the two poisons are there all the time. There is attachment, the boy running after the girl running after the boy, it's colorful, singing songs, honeymoon. It's very colorful. But then that colorful life does not last very long, normally. In many cases, just up to the honeymoon. then gradually divorce. Now today, the so-called developed modern world, the divorce rate is increasing. Then hatred, of course. And all this comes because of ignorance. So as I was saying, in all these movies, when you have violence, when you have sex, life looks colorful. So that's how we are living. What is shown in the movie is a good portrayal of our actual life, right? And in fact, we are so used chasing and running after things, be it other people, be it food, be it other source of entertainment, that during the pandemic, when there is a lockdown, people have now no idea how to stay alone. You only learned how to chase external objects, never looked within yourself. So you kept the doors and windows of your person locked, and you are dilapidating. Dust has covered your body. Cobwebs are there. Nobody cleaned it. So when suddenly you're asked to stay alone during the lockdown, many people are feeling a lot of problem because they don't have this internal resources. They never practice meditation. They never practice calmness of the mind. So there's this one good thing that happened, as we say, misfortune is your true spiritual teacher. So this pandemic also taught us many things, that at the end of the day, unless you know how to handle different problems by yourself, nobody will be able to help you, right? So right from the beginning, make sure that you don't get sick. Make sure that your environment is clean. During the pandemic, because of the practice of lockdown and so forth, the sky became more cleaner, air became more clean, and hardly people got flu because everybody was masked up. Many good things you can also see. Of course, we are focusing and highlighting too much on the death of the people, things like that. So we thought only, about this, but many good things happened. It taught many things, but unfortunately we forget. We have very short memory, right? Otherwise, it taught us a great lesson, great lesson. Therefore, in Buddhism, we say suffering is introduction to happiness. So suffering is important, unfortunately. Otherwise, we'll never learn. We'll only say yes, 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 but it never, we never think that it will actually befall on me. That's why everybody thinks, yes, I like Buddhism, I will practice. But when? One day, when I have holiday. One day, when I have done all my responsibility. One day, when I've done all my business. That one day will never come. Before that one day for practice comes, the Lord of Death will be there standing at your door. Right? So therefore it is important to be happy, to be cheerful, and start practicing, at least 5-10 minutes every day. Just as for the body, we have to eat 3-4 times in the day. For the mind, we are not giving anything, even one dose of spiritual practice. So that's why all these problems that we see around the world, as I say, that this is a clear indication of starvation of human mind. So spiritual practice means to strengthen your mind, to improve your integrity, to instill human values. The more and more we chase the external, shiny gadgets. I mean, sometimes it's really alarming, maybe because I'm not well informed. Like this, they're talking about this, what? Metaverse, what was the metaverse or something, or these virtual things, which is actually creating more and more hallucination. We already have through the use of technology, so many hallucinations are being created now. The genuine contact between two persons are no. We're losing it. We only have this virtual friendship. Now with this metaverse or something, you can actually buy plot, and it's all imagination, You become billionaire, you become crorepati, you buy all these things. You can have your relatives and friends dining at the same time. They're physically not there, but it really looks like they are all physically there. And you fool yourself. And we are so stupid that people are already spending so much money to buy that so-called space, build that house. That's why the Buddha called us my children, we are really like small kids. And we are so much fascinated with this so-called technological, things. Because many of these technological inputs, what they are doing, of course, they are good things also, but many things are just for distraction. Take you further and further away from your actual reality and take you into a world of fantasy. If you're so interested in remaining in a world of illusion, then as the Buddha has taught, as Buddhism has taught, realize that this samsara is an illusion. And that we are not able to do. Bridge the gap between appearance and reality. Appearances are mostly illusion. They're facsimile. So in addition to that inborn illusion, big confusion, we are creating layers and layers of illusions through the so-called technological expertise. As I said, forgive me if I'm wrong, but because I'm not a technological expert. But I really, really think that the more and more we go after this technological, achievements, the more and more we are going further away from our true humanity, human life. And the more and more we'll suffer from loneliness, depression, and so forth. It's really like going into the bed and putting your, head on the pillow and then, get a dream of becoming a billionaire and millionaire. And next morning you wake up, nothing. So we are creating that kind of fantasy, right? So there is no need to create more illusion. We have already so much illusion. What the Buddha is teaching us, get rid of this illusion, understand the reality through analytical meditation and so forth. Okay? So in other words, you should maintain mindfulness of your body, the external body, internal body, your own body, other people's body, and the particles by which this body is made of, and to see the essence in it. Similarly, the feelings of happiness, of suffering, of neutrality. And based on these feelings, what are we doing? When we get some happy feeling, we want that we should never be separated from that happy feeling. When we develop some feeling of suffering, we want to get rid of it. If there's a neutral feeling, we don't care about it, right? And this all because of your mind which is unstable, fluctuating. So therefore, maintain this mindfulness of the reality of your body, what this body is composed of. Somebody did a very good experiment with human body. And he found that most of the parts by which this body is made of can be actually bought from the market. It's not that expensive. If you buy each and every of the chemicals and materials that, by which this body is made of, it's not that expensive. But just by assembling all those parts, it's not easy to create a human being. right? So what makes us a real human being is the presence of human mind, which is the capacity to judge between what is right and what is wrong. So analyze the power of that mind. Ensure that this powerful mind is used in the constructive way, not in the destructive way. And then likewise analyze the nature of all other phenomena. None of this, body, feeling, mind, rest of the phenomena, has an inch of independent inherent existence. They are all designations. They are all designations. My name is Lhakdor, Geshe Lhakdor. People call me Geshe Lhakdor. Right? When did I become Geshe Lhakdor? Day when people give me this name. Why I can't be John or Marx or something else? I can. Why not? This is just designation, you see. So this just a designation. Why we go so much after designation? Why are you so much worried about designation? If somebody calls you a dog, you'll become mad. How dare you call me a dog when I'm not a dog? How can you prove that you are not a dog? It's a designation, you know. If right in the beginning somebody give you the name dog, you will be a dog today. The dog will be a human being if somebody give the name, you know, human being. It's almost like that, you see. So the main point is everything is relative, designated, dependent on its causes and conditions. And if you try to explore essence, there is not much essence there. But still, this does not mean to say things do not exist. Things have a nominal existence, and that nominal existence can function, can become better, can achieve nirvana, right? Can become Buddha. So that is good news. And in fact, not having independent existence is good news. If you have independent existence, then that is it. There's nothing you can do. If you're good, good. If you're bad, bad. Nothing you can do. But because things have no independent existence, rather they have interdependent existence, therefore by depending on causes and conditions, by cultivating the necessary causes and conditions, you can become better, you can change. So this concept of change, this concept of interdependence, you know, makes you flexible, makes you adaptable, right? So that's good news. If you are unhappy today, you can become happy, you can change. If you have no friend today, you can get friend tomorrow. You can change. Right? Okay, so I think we stop here.
Thank you, Geshe. Questions? If you have questions, please raise your virtual hand, or you can type it in the chat if you don't have internet or any other reason that you can't ask in person. All right. Debbie, can you just give me a second? Unmute yourself.
Hello, Geshe, grazie. Thank you very much for your teachings. I have a question, actually. I'm very ashamed to say that I completely and utterly lost my temper with my partner on Saturday morning.
Yeah.
And my question to you is, does this negate all the good stuff that I've been doing for the past week or so with the 15 days of miracles and meditating and the puja and not the pujas? No. I just have to work harder.
No. You know, the reason that we are talking so much about the destructiveness of negative emotion and that you should reduce the intensity of negative emotions, is that these negative emotions are very destructive, very harmful. This does not mean to say that you are an embodiment of negative emotions, that you have nothing good. Whatever good you do, it will be nullified just by deed of one negative. No, it's not like that. The good deeds you have done, they have their own positive results. The negative deeds you have done has its own negative results, things like that. But the important lesson that you can learn is when you lose your temper with your husband, then after that, when you cooled down, that's the thing. That's the learning experience. So what kind of benefit you got by, getting angry and shouting or whatever, So that's the thing you need to learn, you see.
Thank you. And if I may, I have another quick question. My one of our cats was run over and killed 2 weeks ago, and I'm very, very sad. And I've been doing the meditation for the 49 days. But my cat, this is going to sound very strange. My cat is eluding me. He won't stay still. I can't focus on him and the light and everything. He won't stay still in my mind. He's here, he's there, he's inside, he's outside, he's sitting down, he's lying down. I can't keep him in one place. Normally I'm very good at visualizing, and I just can't. And I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking really. Is this because I'm sort of so unhappy and my heart is broken, and it's the attachment that I'm not giving him, how do I put this? I'm keeping him all over the place in this bardo, because it's me that's doing it, and I'm not enabling him to move on.
No,
The
thing is that we all get sadness when we lose someone close and dear to us. But there we need to realize that sadness itself is a result of negative emotions. Buddha also see the death of many things, many people close to him. I don't think he feels sad because he doesn't have attachment, doesn't have obsession. Whereas in our case, we feel sad because of our obsession. This is, especially when you say, this is my cat. you will not get that same sadness when you see the death of cat of someone else. You may feel sorry, but not that, intensity. So these are all, we need to realize these are all result of our negative emotions. And your feeling sad is an ordinary way of, expressing, but it's not going to do anything good to the dead, cat also. And then when you try to focus, remember that the cat seems to be running hither and thither. Not necessarily the cat is running, it is your mind. Basically.
Yes.
Yeah. Mind is really now not stable, it is fluctuating because you are overwhelmed by that sadness. Right? So you see that cat or whoever you love everywhere, moving everywhere.
Yeah, that's what I feel. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And Kunwar, can you unmute yourself, please?
I had a question, like if we are trying our best to give to a relation as much love as we can give and it's not working out, so is it okay to accept that some relationships will never have a happy ending and we should accept that?
Exactly. You cannot impose your love on others. Okay? You cannot. And that's why I say love is not how many times you touch each other, but how many times you reach each other. I use the word each other, meaning that it should not be just from your side, it has to be from the other side also. And that also not how many times you hug each other or how many times you fondle each other, things like that, but it's mentally how much you care each other. If that is not there, then you can't impose yourself on others simply because you like that person. Okay?
Yeah, like this is for my mother. Like I was trying to love and accept her totally, but then it was getting draining. And for the past few days, I'm maintaining a distance. I am much happier and calmer.
That's good. That's a good. That's why in Tibetan also we have a saying which says the blessing of Lama is greater from a distance. So sometimes I mean people's mind are really like very, very sensitive. Sometimes you try to take too much care, then the more you care, the more they seem to be running away from you. And some people, the more you try to stay away from them, the more they seem to be chasing you. It's a human way of doing things, So you should always maintain, a middle way of approach. That you should act in such a way that you don't lose your kind of connection at all because it's your mother. But at the same time, this doesn't mean that you always insist that you are there even when she doesn't like, right? So you should be there when people want you, but you can't impose yourself.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, then, Lucini, sorry if I mispronounce your name. Can you unmute yourself, please? Yeah, thank you.
Hi, I'm from Brazil and my mother is with Alzheimer. And I sometimes feel guilty because I need to take care of her and she is changing to be someone else. And it's very difficult to handle love and care if the person is not herself anymore. So it's very difficult for me. So if you have any.
Yeah, very difficult. You said the right word, very difficult. You did not say impossible.
Okay.
And then with the question of change, of course, with this kind of illness, you see a drastic change. But otherwise, we are all impermanent. We are changing every day. We are always different, So because of that change doesn't mean that you should, lessen your love or affection or support to that person. And especially when your mother needs you more, despite or in spite of whether she recognizes your help or not, you should try your best to help her. Okay.
Okay, then Jackie.
Thank you, Geshe. I was wondering, when I get nervous about having to do something, I repeat the scenario many times in my head. Do you know how to stop that? Is that normal? I get more anxious and I just repeat the scenario in my head when I'm planning to do something.
There's a human tendency, different people have different tendencies. Like some people.
How do I stop that though?
Don't try to stop it. No need to stop it. No need to stop it. No need to make special effort to think over it again and again. You plan and think it. Once this is done, then you don't try to focus on it. You focus doing other things. And once you are done with what you thought, then it will disappear.
And also one other thing. Why does our mind want to be a naughty child? Because there's times when I know I shouldn't think about something, but the moment I know I shouldn't think about it, then I do think about it because of that kind of naughty child thing.
Because of habituation.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you do in whatever, you do those things more in what area you are more habituated. We don't know anything better than that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And B.
Hello. Hi. Thank you, Geshe, for your teaching. I have two questions. The first question is that in meditation, when an emotion comes up and then we watch the emotions, and then after a while, the emotion will go away. Why is that the case?
Oh, this is because when you watch emotion, and especially when you analyze emotion, the emotions also, like any other phenomena, do not have, inherent independent existence, right? So there is nothing called a concrete physical emotion. It's just a feeling, So therefore, when you watch it, it will not remain there as a physical object, right? So that's why we call it emotional, instability. It disappears. They're not physical. They're natural.
Well, but why is that different from, like, sometimes when we are angry and we are just angry and we can stay angry for days, but yet in meditation, if we just look at the anger and then it goes away.
Yeah, because ordinarily you are revealing your actual nature, meaning that you're more habituated with anger. It comes and stays for a long time. That is your, the actual nature. Okay, that's how you live your life. Anger comes, jealousy comes, hatred comes, stay there for a long time. You fight with people, whatever, it stays there for some time, and you're letting these emotions come as they are in ordinary life. So they are in that sense more durable. But when you meditate, then you are acting against the arisal of negative emotions. So therefore, they are unable to stand for a long time, right? Because now you are analyzing, and when you analyze, when you analyze, then you don't see the anger. Don't see a foundation to stay for long, because there's not much reason to get so much angry, so much anger.
Okay. The second question is that if I follow the meditation instruction of a teacher who holds mind-only school, not the Prasangika school, the view of mind-only and not the view of Prasangika. In the long run, is it going to lead me to realizing emptiness? I mean, in the long run, is that going to be beneficial, or is that going to be an impediment?
It will, of course, be beneficial, but because both even the mind-only school it belongs to the Mahayana school. So both the mind-only school and Prasangika Madhyamikas, they both accept the selflessness of the person and the selflessness of the phenomena. But so this understanding of the selflessness of the person and phenomena in mind-only school will help you as a kind of stepping stone to understand and proceed to the Prasangika Madhyamika's viewpoint. So it is useful in that sense. So that's why we encourage people to study all the 4 tenet systems, because they are like steps that helps, move higher.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe. And then next we have Panu. Panuji, can you unmute?
Hello, Geshe. Thank you for the teaching. My question is, when I see that new people are introduced to meditation, I see oftentimes there's a fear that, I'm too scared to meditate because I feel that there are certain difficult emotions which I don't want to experience, and they will come to me, or my thoughts are very scary, and I don't want to look at those thoughts. What is a good antidote for that?
As I said, watch breathing, watch breath. Don't focus on emotions, watch breath. Because as I said, watching the breath is really the antidote to remove all the discursive thoughts. So that's very useful. then gradually you will learn not to have fear, whatever emotions are there. And actually, if you think carefully, do some analytical meditation, whatever be your past experience, if you don't cling on to those things, there is no reason, because if you had some bad experience in the past, it is past, it is gone. It is not going to harm you, kill you, as one teacher said, don't ruminate too much over past and in the future, because what has happened in the past is gone. You cannot eat it, you cannot drink it, you cannot smell it. It's all gone, right? So if you change your way of thinking, it's not like a real enemy coming, it's not like that. It's all gone, nothing, dead. So there's no reason to have any fear. And if you have some kind of apprehension about what will happen in the future, again, nobody knows. It can be good, it can be bad, There's no certainty. Your life, even your life, there is no guarantee that, you will live so long or things like that. So all these fears and worries are primarily based on kind of mistaken states of mind.
Thank you, Geshe.
Yeah. For example, like if we have a saying in Tibetan that when your mind is not, correct, then even if you are staying in an empty house, you will have fear of thieves coming. Why should the thieves come to your empty house? Or even if they come, what is there to lose? There's nothing. It's your own mind creating that fear. Okay.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe. Then, Robata, can you unmute, please?
So thank you so much, Geshe. I'm from Brazil. I have two questions. One is about the analytical meditation. So when we do, like, if you use something to focus a difficult emotion, or how this difficult emotion can lead me to be really close to that emotion and then to basically become that emotion. Do I have to use the antidote to exchange these? Because why I'm asking that, because sometimes I have the feeling that I'm just superposing, putting another thing on the top.
Yeah.
But if we just look for that emotion and kind of look and look again, sometimes I have maybe the wrong understand that I'm just going more and more close to the emotion. Understand my question?
Yeah. It is actually, I've answered your question when I've answered the previous question, because it's our grasping and obsession to what has happened in the past.
It's better, excuse me, sorry. So it's better to use the antidote?
It's like a nightmare that you got last night. If you got a nightmare or had a very bad dream, then now you are not dreaming, you're awake. Why should you keep on reflecting on that bad dream and make your life miserable? So similarly, not only that experience, your past life, past 30 years, for example, 30 years of experience is almost like a dream that similar to the dream that you had last night. So there's not much point to get sad, because of what has happened in the past. It will only create problem on you. So instead, you take that as a learning experience. It was a good thing that it happened because I learned this, that. From past, we can learn something. Otherwise, there's not much point. Okay.
Okay, thank you. And the second question, also people asked about the relationship with the mothers. I'm in the same situation with my mom with dementia. And the point is, she definitely seen in her mind me as an enemy. So we are two sisters and we are very together. We have a lot of union. We are taking care of her, but my sister is the good one and I am the bad one in her mind, in my mom's mind.
So that's her problem, not your problem.
But I am the one that is present. My sister lives in another country. So what I decide to do is not to be close to her anymore.
Good, good.
And this is very difficult because sometimes I see that I'm not doing my role. Yeah. But if I call her and say, hello, how are you? So it became a nightmare for her.
Achha.
So
no, then you can tell her, you tell her the situation that all I want is to help you. But if my presence or my calling you makes you unhappy, I will stop that. But I'm available whenever you want to call me. So it is now your responsibility to contact me, not me. Say something like that. Of course, I don't know everything, so it is not fair for me to try to give all kind of suggestions to everybody. But based on your questions, the answer should be something like that.
Okay,
because
thank you so much.
As I said earlier, sometimes with your mother or any friends, when if they're reluctant, if they don't like us to see, then it's good. From your side, if you really did something wrong, then of course there is a reason that you feel sorry because you committed the mistake. But from your side, if you have what you have been trying to do is to contact her, to help her, things like that. But from the other side, if that person doesn't like you to call or to help, then nothing can be done.
I don't think I don't think I did, but her mind, it keeps creating like things that I don't even know because she's not able to express herself anymore in a
again the question is, if she is not able to judge things clearly because of certain illness of the mind, then you should feel more compassion to her. Okay, but
be apart. Otherwise, you know what, Geshe, sorry, but I'm afraid that she's gonna die thinking things about me that it's not true. So it's kind of, I became an enemy for her and her mind's like that.
But there are things you can change. There are things you can't change. You can't change what other people think about you, So that's not your problem.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, Geshe. We have only 2 minutes left, but quite a few questions are there.
Yeah.
Can we take 1 or 2 more questions?
Yeah, sure.
Sandeep, please, can you unmute?
Yeah, hi. Thanks. Thank you so much for the teaching. I've been following for the last 5 months, and I can see a lot of improvement since I start meditating, and I'm using different techniques to meditate. If it's not too much to ask, could you please help me with the walking meditation? Because I go out for a walk, I start being present, and at the moment I start noticing things around me. I can see my thoughts, like say, for example, I get angry. Earlier, I used to get angry because with my nephew, and because he's a kid, he won't listen. Now I don't do that much. I'm much calmer. I can see my thoughts because I had attachment. Obviously, it's my nephew, only nephew, so I expect the kid to behave in a way sometime, but the kid does not behave. So because of that attachment, I get angry. He doesn't listen. So now I don't do that much. So I like, this is just an example, but I have improved in my entire life in a way I wasn't expecting. That's the reason I wanted to add a couple more types of meditation. Like one of them is walking meditation. If there's something you could help me with.
Yeah, as I said, when you do this mindfulness meditation on the body, then you observe what your body is doing, whether it's eating, whether you're stretching your hand, stretching your leg, or walking, or breathing, whatever. All this comes in the mindfulness meditation of the body. But when you're doing the walking meditation, for example, my immediate feeling is when you're doing this walking meditation, say in your garden, in a place where there is no risk, then of course you think about now I'm lifting my right hand, now I'm lifting my right leg and left leg and things like that. Concentrate on that. But if you are walking in a forest, then if you concentrate just on your legs, you're walking and don't watch what is happening around, you might jump from a cliff also. So my understanding is, I think it should be really something like driving on a national highway. When you drive on a national highway, your main focus is on the national highway. But that doesn't mean to say that you don't watch a little bit, here and there around you of any possibilities of, things coming up on the road and things like that also, There should be something like that. So your main focus should be on the walking itself. So that's why it's called walking meditation. But at the same time, you should also have a little bit of understanding of the situation and surrounding in which you are doing the walking. Okay.
Thank you so much. You being a light for me. Tushita being a light for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Then Jordana, can you unmute, please?
Hello, thank you. So I feel like you've given lots of good specific advice for meditation and to move our practice forward. And my question is actually about mala beads, the beads themselves. I recently have a pair, and I'm wondering mainly one, how to use them, and two, I've noticed that on them there's the number 8 to 13 is a different color, as well as 20 to 23 of the numbers on there. And I'm just wondering, how to use them correctly.
I have no idea the colors, but normally
show them.
Normally the rosaries we use have 108 beads. Okay.
Yes.
108 beads, and this 108 beads symbolizes the 12 signs of the zodiac. Okay, coming into their 12 signs of the zodiac. The 9 planets, the 9 planets visiting the 12 signs of zodiac. 9 into 12 is 108, right? So that is what they say. So it has to do with the movement of the solar systems and things like that. That's what it is. But the more important thing is this beads, rosaries. It's like a calculator, It helps you to keep the number. Number one, when you have the rosary, you feel like chanting the mantra, So it's a reminder. Okay. So that is primarily the purpose. I don't think there's any other purpose.
So each one, if it's 108, so if I'm going to sit down to meditate, I just focus on one type of meditation, 8 times.
Yeah, just focus on the mantra that you are chanting, and if possible, recall the meaning of that mantra. Not just recitation, but also remember the meaning of that mantra. Okay. Then while doing that, then you can slowly, count the beats.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Then Christina, this will be the last question. We are going to overtime. Can you unmute, please, Christina?
Hello, Geshe.
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask you, what can be done to have an immediate efficiency in strange environments characterized by strong negativity? I mean, not only to protect ourselves, but also to protect those that manifest error visions.
Yeah, if there is a storm, the storm comes from outside. right? When the storm comes from outside, you should make sure that your house is strong enough. So something like that. When the external environment is turbulent and disturbing, your calmness, maintaining your calmness is even more important. Okay.
Yes.
So and then also at the same time be realistic. Your wish to help yourself and help others is of course amazing. It's wonderful, but still be skillful how you're going to help, or what you're going to do is really going to be helpful to others or not. So those things you should analyze properly. It's not enough that you have a good motivation. Okay. For example, in the practice of giving, we say giving is generally good, but at the same time, we should know what to give, when to give, how to give, to whom to give. By saying giving is good, if you give poison or swords, guns, it's not good. So like that. So understand the situation properly. And then there are things you can do, there are things you cannot do. Accept that reality and maintain calmness with understanding that problems and difficulties are bound to come and you cannot just stop it like that. And you're getting anxiety or concerned is not going to help. Okay.
Because they are used to hide things, and if I try to put them in clear, their reaction is very negative.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what
and
I'm
aggressive
saying.
and aggressive.
That's what I'm saying. So leave it.
Yes, you can leave it when you are in a private environment, but when you are in a work environment, what is to be done? Not much.
Yeah, in a working environment, if it is not useful to be very aggressive and violent, but still you can maintain certain toughness without saying much, but following your own line of thinking and doing. And
yes, I'm doing like this.
Yeah,
but,
that is good. That's good, because
yes.
if you verbally say many things, then it will make the matter worse.
Yes, the problem is that they put you aside. This is the problem.
Yeah, so if the problem is too large, too big, where you think that you can't continue in the such surrounding, then you should try to change the surrounding. Go somewhere else.
Yes.
It's not easy, I know, but there's the
That's the problem. It's not easy, especially in nowadays. It is very difficult.
Sometimes if you change your behavior a little bit, try to smile and don't see that other person as bad or aggressive, which may also be true, which may also be your way of seeing things. So whatever be the situation, if you really try to be calm and try to be nice, they might change also. It is also possible.
It's the interest that guides them. That's the problem. You can smile as much as you want, but if the interest is different,
Yeah.
There is not so much to be done there.
Yeah, true.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Geshe, so much. And we hope to welcome you to Tushita in person very, very soon.
No, tomorrow I will come.
Please come, Geshe. Come for tea or come for lunch. You're most welcome. And thank you everyone for joining us. And tomorrow we have Geshe Sopala. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Geshe. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tomorrow we have Geshe Tenzin Sopala. So please join us at 4 p.m. Indian Standard Time. And last Friday we sent you an email with the link to the Geshe-la's Unmistaken Child with the Passport. So please, if you haven't watched, please do watch that. So the session with Geshe-la will be based on the movie question and answer session. Yeah, so please enjoy the movie if you haven't yet. Otherwise, we see you tomorrow with the question and answer session with Geshe Sopala. thank you everyone so much for joining us. And many of you have been giving donations for teachers and for Tushita. So thank you all so much. Thank you. And have a good day, good evening, good morning, depending on your time zones. Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye. Be well and be safe.